Yes, I know I'm behind in my listening and my playlist videos and all that, but boy, do I have some really good reasons for you. I'll line them up in a second here. Greetings, one and all, and welcome once again to Tom's Hit Parade. By the way, I invite you to hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up if you like what you see, share this video with your friends, and leave me your thoughts down in the comment section. I would be forever grateful. I'm starting to repeat myself with the thank yous. Anyway, yes, today I am giving you it was supposed to be my May, but it's probably going to go ahead and be my May and June playlist video. This is the supposed to be monthly video in which I just show you what I've listened to over the past uh, months since the previous playlist video. Yes, I am falling behind a little bit in my attempted goal of an average of one album every other day. My ultimate goal is to clear out my vinyl listening backlog, which is these two compartments here and three compartments above it, which you cannot see. It's progressing. I think I'm still going to make my end of year goal of blanking out those sections, emptying out those sections. But yes, just got a little bit behind. June has been a crazy, crazy month. Yes, it started out, give you a brief recap of what's been going on. Started out with 2 marathon weekends of yard work because with my mom's recuperation from her hip replacement, which went really, really well, by the way, she's doing fantastically. We had let the yard get a little out of control, and my aunt and uncle were coming up for a visit um, after those. They gave us 2 weeks' notice, basically, and so we wanted to make the yard presentable for them. And then, after their visit, which was very nice, had a weekend to just, by that time I was ready for a weekend to just relax and do nothing. And then this weekend, tomorrow I have let's just say a medical procedure. I don't want to gross anybody out. Still, I wanted to get some videos out, get them done, just kind of as a motivator to get through today, to take my mind off of the fact that I can have very little food. I really can't have any solid food. I have to do a clear liquid diet for today. So trying to keep myself busy and keep my mind off of my tummy growling. So hopefully you won't hear that over the microphone as I go through this video. But anyway, as opposed to instead of the usual 12 records that I have, or 16, I think it is. 16, because I try to do one for every other day of the week, of the month, whatever. I told you, my brain is... anyway, instead of 16, I've got 18 records here. So sort of making up minimally for the making this video a 2-month span instead of 1 month. But anyway, go ahead and get started. I got a lot of stuff to go through here. The soundtrack from Goodbye, Mr. Chips. It was a musical from the late 60s, I believe. Doesn't give me a copyright date. It starred Peter O'Toole and Petula Clark. I love Petula Clark. She's a great singer. I've got a few of her albums, I believe. And as you can see here, it was music arranged and conducted by John Williams. Yes, this was one of his first roles in his first jobs in feature films. After his stint as, doing B movies and silly comedies in the 60s. And yes, got a nice little essay here, multi-page booklet glued to the inside of the thing here. So yeah, kind of cool, fun little thing. It's got some fun songs on it. And yes, there was I think it was Entrada Records put out like a 3-disc expanded version of it. Got a whole bunch of bonus material and stuff on it, but it is ridiculously expensive. I am a John Williams fan, but I also have a budget, so that will not be one that I pick up. And I make do with a handful of other ones with just the regular 1-disc editions. So yeah, not a big thing. Another bit of a John Williams connection here. Music from Peter Gunn, composed and conducted by Henry Mancini, but John Williams plays piano on these tracks here. And yes, this was actually a little trivia note. This was the first album to win the Grammy Award for Album of the Year. This was back in 1959, I believe it was. That was the first year that they instituted that particular award in the Grammys, and Peter Gunn was the honoree for that award. So yeah, kind of a cool thing. It's kind of a neat thing that John Williams is a part of that. So lots of fun, jazzy, uh, film noir-ish sort of music there by Henry Mancini. And now I do have one of the compartments above frame here is mostly comedy and spoken word albums. So, and I haven't been listening to a lot of those until until now. I'm starting to, I've got to thin out all 5 of the compartments up there. So I got to start listening to some comedy as well. So you will begin to see some comedy and spoken word records in here. First one here is Judy Tenuta, her album "Buy This Pigs." Um, she was a very funny kind of a raucous body, um, very, very, very. It's hard to describe Judy Tenuta's brand of comedy. It was lots of fun, and yeah, you got to listen to. See if you can find this one in whatever means you can. Very, very funny, very entertaining. I really enjoyed listening to her. She passed away several years ago, unfortunately, but yeah. She wasn't filthy. She didn't do a whole lot of foul language, and it just she's kind of a bit of a off color, kind of a risque, a bit of a risque humor. That's what's the word I'm trying to think of. And here we have something very different from comedy. We have new age music. Andreas Vollenweider with his album Down to the Moon. Yes, for some reason I picked up a handful of Andreas Vollenweider albums, like 5, and so I will be listening to them a little bit. He is a harpist, so if you're into that sort of thing, and that new age kind of stuff is kind of nice to relax to in the evening if you're looking to unwind and that kind of thing. So yeah, and here we have somebody who has made a home for himself in the greater Eugene, Oregon area, and I don't know if he's always been Oregonian or not, but Mason Williams. So this is his album Music, and it's got a handful of maybe just a couple of old standards. Green Sleeves. He starts out with the folk song Green Sleeves and some other stuff. Some of the stuff he does is a little bit whimsical, a little bit funny, even though a lot of it is instrumental. Just a lighthearted approach to music is basically what he takes, and I've enjoyed. This is like the 4th or 5th album of his that I have, and he's fun. He's fun to listen to. It's also kind of nice to have somebody in my collection who is a local resident. And then we have one of 2 albums that I have of Scott Joplin piano rags. I've got a handful of CDs of Joplin works as well. But yes, this is on the None Such label, uh, played by Joshua Rifkin. And unfortunately, there's a fair bit of noise on this one. And I did clean the record before I played it, but still quite a bit of popping and clicking on it, which is probably not quite ideal for this kind of music, which can be quiet in some passages. So yes, I've always been a fan of Scott Joplin's piano compositions and stuff. So good stuff there. Then we have a country/novelty artist, C.W. McCall. This is his album Wilderness. He is best known for the song Convoy. That was a big hit on country radio back in the 70s, and it's gained a bit of a cult following. But there are several of his songs that I really enjoy. One of the songs on here is called There Won't Be No Country Music, There Won't Be No Rock and Roll. And it's kind of an environmental anthem, if you will. One of my favorites of C.W. McCall's. And funny, this is actually produced by Chip Davis, who is the founding member of Mannheim Steamroller, that new age easy listening group. So kind of an interesting connection between the two. And C.W. McCall is actually his real name is Bill Fries, and I guess he was a radio DJ at some point before he kind of took on the persona of C.W. McCall. But yeah, another good song on here is "Crispy Critters." Kind of has it's a bit of a satire of the hippie movement, which juxtapose that against the environmental song "There Won't Be No Country Music." You'd think it was a little bit contradictory, but not really. But yeah, this is a very fun album. I really, really enjoyed this one, and I've got at least one more. I've got one that I've already listened to years ago, and there's one more up there that I will be listening to at some point soon. So you haven't seen the last of C.W. McCall in my playlist videos. And then this one, not sure if I'm going to keep this one or not. It was kind of interesting. Um, Swingin' West. This was a Marty Gold and his orchestra with themes from Western TV shows and movies. So, and they were kind of some of the arrangements were a little bit quite departure from the original arrangements. So some of them I just didn't even recognize when they played, and I looked at the track listing and like, oh, that one just played. I didn't recognize that one. So yeah, not quite what I expected. So I don't know if I'm going to keep this one, but kind of a fun little thing to listen to. Then we have Brian Bowers. Now this guy, I guess he's probably classified mostly as a folk musician. This is his album Home on the Road. And he is best known to me and probably a lot of other people for a song that became popular on the Dr. Demento show. It was called The Scotsman. And I'm sure you can find that on YouTube. Listen to The Scotsman by Brian Bowers. It is hilarious. It's great. And so I went into this album thinking that he was more of a novelty or comedy singer, but he's actually more of a folk singer. This was The Scotsman was a little bit of an outlier in his discography. So, but still, it is totally worth your time. You got to listen to The Scotsman by Brian Bowers. That is on this album, by the way. Yes, very, very, very funny album, or funny song, and a good album, by the way, too. Now, this one, to be honest with you, this is one of the first ones in this whole stack that I listened to, and it's been 6-7 weeks ago, so I can't totally remember what it sounded like, but it was good as I recall. Usha Iyer, I think is how you pronounce it. Usha is her first name, and Iyer is her last name, and she is from India. And yes, I think I got this record. Did Noah send me this record, or maybe I actually saved it from when I was out visiting him? He let me go through his records, and I got to pick out a bunch and to send home for myself, because he was just going to get rid of them. And this one was either one that I got that way or one that maybe he sent me, unless I'm mistaken and I got this one somewhere else. I cannot remember. But yes, this is her album Scotch and Soda. It's got a bunch of songbook classics on it, like Fever, the song that I can't remember who it is, made famous. I Left My Heart in San Francisco, the one that Tony Bennett made famous. Big Spender, the great song. California Dreaming, which was the Mamas and the Papas song. It was kind of an interesting take on that one. And A Taste of Honey, the classic standard as well. So a very good album. I'm kind of glad that I decided to pick it out and bring it home. So yeah. And then this one is the Andrews Sisters present those lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer. This is where they take on some contemporary songs, meaning contemporary from the 60s, 50s, and 60s. And the Andrews Sisters, as you may know, were from the 1940s and 50s. And so this album was a little bit later in their career. They sing the song Sukiyaki. They sing Mr. Bassman. The End of the World, which was a nice ballad from, I can't remember who it was that made that one famous. Puff the Magic Dragon, the Peter, Paul, and Mary song. And They Can't Get Used to Losing You. So yeah, it was interesting. They kind of stick to their close harmony sound on this album. So yeah, it was kind of fun to listen to. A little bit of something that was not typically the repertoire of the Andrews Sisters. So yeah. And now we're finally getting into the pop and rock and stuff. So yes, kind of a all that other stuff, and then boom, we're into the pop and rock. The Police, Outlandos de Amor. I'm missing one Police album, and I cannot remember which one it is. But yes, this one has Roxanne and Can't Stand Losing You. Honestly, the two big hits off of this album. But yes, yes, the Police's discography is only 5 albums, so I figure why not go all in on them. And as soon as I make myself a permanent note of which Police album I'm missing, I will keep a steady lookout for it. And then we have the Carpenters, which I believe this was their first album, A Song for You, and this has Top of the World on it, and I Won't Last a Day Without You, and It's Going to Take Some Time. So yes, some great songs on this one, and yeah, interesting packaging here. The flap there, and then the record comes out. So yeah, I do rather appreciate the Carpenters. They are a little bit cheesy, but Karen Carpenter is one of the best vocalists of all time, in my opinion. And then we have The Dreamweaver by Gary Wright. The title track was the only song of his that I knew before listening to this album, and I ended up really enjoying it. I cannot remember any of these songs because this was again one of the earlier albums that I listened to in this stack, so it's been several weeks. But as I recall, plenty of good songs on this album. So yes, don't let the song Dreamweaver give you your one and only impression of Gary Wright. Very good song. Some of these songs were, as I recall, had a pretty good rock element to it. So yes, you would think from that song that he was very easy listening pop, soft pop artist. But no, he was a good artist. And then we have one of my favorite artists from the 80s, Duran Duran. This is their album Arena. I believe it was a live album, and I believe they had one song on here. Yes, The Wild Boys, which was a studio track. And actually, The Wild Boys is one of my favorite Duran Duran songs. So yes, this was a fantastic album to listen to. I could never have too much Duran Duran in my collection. You have a nice gatefold here. So yeah, excellent stuff. Definitely. And then some more 80s stuff here. We have Wham with their album Fantastic. And was this actually a UK? No, this was a US print. It's just for some reason they're called Wham UK on the cover. So, but yes, this one had Bad Boys and Wham Rap, Enjoy What You Do, and Young Guns, Go For It, and Club Tropicana on it. Perhaps lesser hits of theirs. I mean, obviously, Wake Me Up Before You Go Go was their big hit. That was not on this album. That was on their other album, or their first or second. I can't remember if this was their first or second album. But yes, I have a soft spot for Wham. They're one of my not so guilty pleasures from the 80s. Good stuff. And then this is definitely not a not so guilty pleasure. She absolutely rocked. We lost her last year, and in a way, I'm kind of still mourning her. Tina Turner. This is her album, Private Dancer. Absolute classic from the 80s. What's Love Got to Do with It? Got the title track, Better Be Good to Me. Her version of Let's Stay Together, the Al Green classic. Steel Claw, that was a really rockin', almost a punk sounding song that I really enjoyed. So yes, as I said, an absolutely classic album from the 80s. Tina basically reinvented herself with this album and reestablished herself as a force to be reckoned with in pop and even rock music. And the final album in my video today needs no introduction, Tapestry by Carole King. Yes, I've listened to it before. I've got it on CD. It's just I hadn't gotten a hold of the vinyl until recently. And yeah, listened to it finally this past month. So yes. And a beautiful gatefold here, which you don't get on the CD version. But yeah, every song on here, absolutely classic. I Feel the Earth Move. It's Too Late. Beautiful. You've Got a Friend. Where You Lead. Will You Love Me Tomorrow? You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman. I mean, they're just right there. I gave you 4/5 of the track list practically. So yes, an absolute monster of an album. One of the best albums of the entire decade of the 70s, in my opinion. So there you go. That is my playlist for May/June. Hopefully things will calm down around here once I get my lovely medical procedure done tomorrow. Hopefully the next several weekends will be nice and quiet. I'll be able to catch up on my listening and all that stuff. But anyway, that'll do it for this video. Be sure to like it if you like it. And before you go, drop me some feedback in the comment section. I'd love to know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon to catch my future videos, hit my username to browse my old videos. Links to my socials and my favorite fellow YouTubers are in the description below. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and remember, life's too short to be a music snob.